to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, hi, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to be doing a foundation test. This isn't a new foundation, but is new to me. It is the Chanel Ultra Le Tint Velvet Blurring Smooth Effect Foundation with a velvet matte finish. And this is the box that it comes in, and even though it looks really small, it is the standard 30 mils of product inside. So I'll take it out of its box, and this is what it looks like, just in a small black bottle with a twist off lid. And I've been shaking it quite a bit because it says to do that in the instructions, so there's a bit round the edge here. I've heard a lot of great things about this foundation, so I'm really excited to try this out. For those of you that are new to my videos, I have mature skin. I'm 52 years old in July. I also have really oily skin as well, and even though it's autumn here in New Zealand, I still like a long wear foundation. I don't mind if it has a matte finish, because even in autumn winter I still find that my oils come through. The shop assistant where I got this from, she did say this would probably be more suited for my skin in summer, but I thought I would still give it a try. It still could be really ideal for autumn winter as well. So on the Chanel website it says the Ultra Le Tint Velvet is a long wear foundation that naturally smooths and evens out the complexion. Its blurring effect erases all imperfections and ensures makeup with a matte velvet finish. Ultra light, ultra matte and ultra natural. It instantly becomes one with the skin for a flawless complexion all day long. This is available in 15 shades. So I picked this up in the shade B30, a previous Chanel foundation that I did a review on. I got that in B30 as well, and it was a perfect match for my skin. So for today's wear test, I'm going to put some primer on, but I'm only going to put the primer on my left side of my face, because with the previous review I did during that test, I thought that foundation was a fail, and I thought it may have been the sunscreen, and I put on a lot of sunscreen, and I'm not willing to give my sunscreen up because it's really important to protect your skin. But what I did do is I tried that foundation again but without primer, and it actually wore really well. So I thought for all my future tests I will do one side of my face primed and one side without. So I do have a few different primers now, but for the foundation test I do like to use my tried and true one, and that is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. So I'm just going to put a really small amount on my finger because I'm only doing half my face. So that's the amount of primer. I've just let my primer sit for a couple of minutes, and on the left side of my face where I've got the primer on, I'm going to use the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush, and on the right side that I haven't got primer on, I'm going to use a beauty blender. So I'm going to put some on my hand now. I did shake this really well as the instructions said to. It is fairly runny. You can see it running down my hand now. So let's try this out. So I'm putting some on the BK Beauty foundation brush. It says on their website you can either use a brush or sponge. Now this does have a fragrance. It actually smells really nice. It's not very overpowering, but it is a pleasant smell. But if you don't want fragrance in your foundation, then you won't want to try this. So the shade B30 is a really good match for my skin, so I'm really pleased with the shade. I would say the finish is a solid medium. It's covering up redness I have on my cheeks here because I have broken capillary, so it's covering that quite well. You can still slightly see the sunspot, but I find that that's quite noticeable with no matter what foundation I use. But it's not a complete blanked out coverage, but definitely a strong medium. It feels really nice on the skin. It feels really lightweight, as they say it does. I think it does have a slight blurring effect on the pores, certainly minimizes them to quite a degree, so it looks really, really nice. It doesn't seem to be settling into my wrinkles or fine lines at this stage. So even though it's only just been put on, it looks really good at the moment. So now I'm going to do the other side using a beauty blender. So this just blends out really, really beautifully, this foundation. I do think with a beauty blender you don't get quite the same coverage. It would be a soft medium here. It's definitely more coverage on that side. But what I'm going to do is just put a bit more foundation on my hand and see if I can build it up using the beauty blender. So doing a second layer with the beauty blender and putting a bit more foundation on my hand, it has given now the same coverage that's on the left side of my face. So if you prefer using a beauty blender, you can get that strong medium finish, but you'll probably use more product. If you want that medium finish, then you'll probably want to use a brush because you will end up using less product. So that is all the foundation on. Now I'm just going to put on some corrector and concealer under my eyes and do my eyebrows, and I'll be back to give my thoughts on this foundation. And I have powdered just under my eyes. I've also put my eyeshadow primer on. Now I'm just going to powder the left side of my face only, and I'm going to use the Chanel Natural Finish loose powder. This is fairly new to me, but I've been using this for a few days in a row, and I absolutely love this powder. It's so finely milled and gives a beautiful silky soft feel to the skin. And I'm just going to buff some of the powder using the Sonia G Face 1 brush, but just on the left side so I can see how this foundation performs without setting powder. So with the left side of my face powdered, as you'd expect, it feels just beautiful and silky smooth. On the right, where it isn't powdered, it does have that velvet finish like they say it does. There isn't any stickiness. It's not as dried down as the powdered side, but it doesn't feel greasy in any way. I really like this foundation. I can see why it is a favorite for many, many people. It does give a beautiful soft finish. It's not a dull matte look in any way. It just softens the skin and gives this really beautiful look. It's not settling into my wrinkles or fine lines. It doesn't feel cakey or heavy. It's really lightweight and just at this stage I think absolutely gorgeous. So I've now finished all my makeup and I'm really loving this foundation. I think it gives a really beautiful soft look to the skin. I'm really, really impressed. It still feels really beautiful. Even the side that I haven't powdered, and this is the side that isn't primed either, I think it looks really, really pretty and very flattering for more mature skin. I can really see why other people love this foundation. It looks like you're getting a tiny amount, but it is the standard 30 mils that you get in the majority of foundation. I think from memory the price of this foundation was 92 New Zealand dollars, so it is more on the higher end. But if you don't mind paying more for a foundation, then I really recommend this Chanel Ultra Le Tint Velvet, a really beautiful foundation. Since I've applied it, it hasn't settled into any of my lines or wrinkles. It hasn't moved around at all. Even the side that isn't primed hasn't moved. My blush and bronzer went beautifully over the foundation, even the side that wasn't powdered. And that's because it has, as it says, that beautiful velvet matte finish, but not in a dull way. You know, it doesn't look dull as some really matte foundations can give. It looks matte, but I think because of its elegant formula, it just sits on the skin so beautifully. I really like this foundation, and for oily, mature skin, I would highly recommend it. I can't see it changing much throughout the day. If it does, I will give an update in the description box below or in a pinned comment, but otherwise, I think this is a beautiful foundation. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.